The human body works in mysterious ways. Today we are going to be uncovering what happens when your muscles contract.
Let's take a look.
All right. So when your muscles want to contract, your brain will send a signal through a motor neuron down to the axon terminal of that motor neuron. Once it's at the axon terminal, at the synapse, the action potential will be released and brought to the sarcolemma. The action potential will then travel down the sarcolemma and down into the T-tubule of the sarcolemma. Once it gets into the T-tubule, it will trigger the release of calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum.
Once the calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, it travels to the troponin. Here, it connects with the troponin, which then signals the movement of the tropomyosin to move out of the way of the actin binding sites. Once these actin binding sites are exposed, the myosin head will then go to connect with the actin binding sites. This forms something called a cross bridge. In order for this cross bridge to form, ATP must be involved. The ATP allows the myosin to hydrolyze the ATP and do what is called a power stroke. This power stroke allows the muscle to contract. Once the muscle has contracted, it is in its high energy concentration. But once the power stroke is finished, the myosin is then in low energy concentration. This means that in order for the myosin to break the cross bridge, it must hydrolyze more ATP. Once it hydrolyzes more ATP, the cross bridge is broken and the muscle relaxes.
When death occurs, this process ends at the breaking of the cross bridge. This is because when death occurs, calcium is released and it's not regulated. This causes all the tropomyosin to move from the actin binding sites, and then the myosin heads attach to the actin. This causes a contraction. ATP is not there because the person's dead. So the ATP is not present, causing no release of the cross bridge.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time
at Let's Take a Look at Science.